Hey everyone, welcome to the show, episode 27, Rookies That Didn't Get Drafted. So today's show, we're going to cover the rookies that didn't get picked up in the AFL. We're going to cover why they should have got picked up, and also to show what sort of players they still are, and also not to give up on your dream to play AFL. I think that's an important message, and the direct message I could give just from personal experience is not to give up on your dream and just keep playing as well as you can and prepare yourself as well as you can. Even though it's hard when you're working a normal 9 to 5 job, is to just keep showing up, whether it's at SANFL level, at VFL level, at Waffle level, or any other level where you play footy. So it's going to be predominantly for South Australian, Vic Country, some in Vic Metro, and also WA. So today it will be predominantly South Australia, obviously, because they're the dominant team in the state championships. They were undefeated. I've said that quite passionately. And also I want to show that I'm a non-biased person too. If it was a Vic Country side or a Vic Metro side or a WA side that absolutely dominated, I would say the same thing. So it may seem like I'm popping up the tires, but I'm just telling you how I think and the straight facts that apply to it. And I know some clubs are looking for players that they need on their list, so not every club can accommodate all the players, and it's on a needs basis for the list management. So that's quite an important point as well. But there's no reason why some players that should be on the list that didn't make it should be on the list. So let's get started. So the first one I'm going to start with is Jack Cook, Woodville West Torrens product. He is a consistent accumulator of the ball. He runs both ways. He comes in. He's a small defender, but also swaps into South Australian midfield. So he provide overrunning lap with slick ball use. He's also good by foot, and also saved his best performance for last, posting 20 disposals, 6 tackles, 4 clearances in SA's winning championship game. So he performed on the big game, and the most important game is essentially the premiership winning game. So yeah, he also is the son of Tim Cook, who played 8 games for Adelaide. So yeah, he's the physio at the Crows. So he has some club ties. And I'm not sure the Crows situation, if they have any supplementary players that they can add to their list. But yeah, they did have Matt Leray training with them early in the season, and they didn't elect to pick him, which I'll cover a bit in the Crows draft, which will probably be coming up very soon, being in alphabetical order. So yeah, he is one. I did have him roughly in my top 30. He can play small defence. He can also be a run with player. Woodville West Torrens, so I'm assuming he'll go back and play at Woodville in the SANFL team or reserves. So yeah, mate, stick to it. Do a pre-season. Just play well, mate, and you never know. Like, Woodville generally has a good side. I know Sauce down there as a coach. He'll do the best to develop talent there. And I hope that don't give up on your dream, mate. Go back and play SANFL and try to dominate at that level. So, yeah, we have Jim Kelly, so utility from Nord. Another important squad member who flew under the radar while playing all 4 games. He played all 4 games, so he was versatile, so he could play multiple different roles. And he was a midfield majority of the time, swapping off the bench, but could be rotated on the outside, on the wing, or either a half forward or either end of the ground. So yeah, he found space in the defence and used to drive the ball forward when he had the room to move in. He started the campaign off brightly, having 20 disposals, 16 kicks, and 532 metres gained. So, like, that there alone, he's a good ball carrier. It sounds like he can use the ball well. And he got a lot of metres gained. So, a Nord product, I have no doubt that he'll go back to Nord. And, yeah, they did quite well this year. Made it, I believe, to a grand final. Unfortunately, lost to Sturt. So, yeah, there's a bit to work with there. I know Billy Coots got picked up in the rookie draft. So, yeah, there's a good representation that your dream is not over, mate. And you can keep giving it a crack. And just, yeah, Nord have a great development program, along with most SNFL sides. But I did love playing at Nord's Oval. When you used to be on the benches or before the game in the change room, sorry, you used to have this view. So the change rooms would have this window that you or sort of thing that you'd look out. There was a hole sort of placed in the above, sort of about eye level, so you'd be able to look across the ground, and it was actually at floor level for the oval. So you'd have this amazing view that you'd be able to see across the oval. It's been a while since I've been in the change rooms there. I don't know if they still have that, but it was one of the most great grounds to play at. They do play there during gather round. So if you're over here for gather round, if you're from interstate, it's a great ground to go watch. It's your local footy field, but with a grandstand, and holds your 13,000. So you do get an atmosphere there, and it has a lot of rich history. So yeah, so it's sort of sad that a guy that had 20 disposals, 532 metres gain, he is standing at 180 centimetres, so he's a bit more undersized. But, that doesn't necessarily matter. Yeah, really good stats, played all 4 games, and he wasn't drafted, and was in my top 30 just for the fact that he played all 4 games. Statistically, was quite good. And it's pretty hard to deny a guy like that a spot with all the 50 spots that were taken, or was 58 in the first night or second night, including the rookie drafts as well. So, yeah, it's quite interesting. We do have Joshua Rochelle, Central District boy. There was a few Central District boys drafted, but yeah, he was in the back line, small defender, slotted in a sort of role that would be rotating in and out, and also rotated out of the final match against Vic Country. So yeah, his best efforts were 10 touches, 4 intercepting possessions, 4 score involvement. So he ran the ball down to be able to have the ability to get the ball forward. And that was against Western Australia. Perfect ball user, used to run and connect with the Central District prospects in the competition. So yeah, he also had the role for kick-in duty. So it must be a clean kick. You don't necessarily get those roles unless you're a good kick. So shout out to you, mate. Stay at Centrals. Keep playing your craft. There's no reason why to keep playing and develop your game. Don't give it up. That's the thing I'm going to really say about this to all these players. I think there needs to be more positive stuff like this to tell players to stay in a system. I personally would like the AFL to also maybe open up more spots for teams to have. Why can't we have 60 players on a list? People say, well, don't need to, but what about we do those sorts of things? There's unlimited amounts of money to be provided around. It's not like the clubs are short of money. Yes, some are in debt, but that's a podcast for another day. I know 60 might be too much. I don't know. But, why can't we add more? There's no reason why. So, yeah, Luis Kellaway. So, father, son of Duncan Kellaway. An interesting player. I did liken his game to a mixture between like a Nick Dacos. The way he would run, the way his legs structured across the ground. He was a good linking player, a bit of a sweeping defensive mid. But so yeah, he had the ability. So he was frequently used as one of SA's most used midfielders, offering a combination of toughness and class. So obviously a sweeping defender with the ability of the outside run. That's why I thought he had a good contested game, and also but had class on the outside. That had the Nick Dacos sort of Ashcroft type moving across the ground. So he had repeat running spurts, sharp kicking, and when he was on the move, and willingness to be tough to bring down bigger opponents. So he wasn't afraid of tackling. To me, that's a skill. Some people are just born with that trait, the ability to. You can still learn it, but there's like a given trait that you have, and if you're willing to put your head over the ball, but also willing to get in and tackle your opponent is a great trait. And yeah, so he is consistently pretty good, between 18 to 21 disposal throughout 4 games, posting 19 on two occasions. To me, yeah, he is an important player. I'll just get up. He played a star role and also in the under 18s grand final for the SANFL, which is equivalent to the Coates League over in Victoria, which a lot of players do get picked up on for that. So yeah, in his grand final, we're just getting up my notes now. So he, Kellaway was also reliable as ever, posting 21 disposals, 5 marks, 5 tackles, and 5 inside 50s for the game. He was a defensive sweeper at the back of stoppages in the centre circle, in the centre, and fed plenty of the ball from the taps from the ruckman that he had. So yeah, he was fed the ball a lot from the ruckman. Sorry, it was tapped the ball, would move the ball quite well, but also he got a lot of touches, also playing the defensive sweeping role. So one of your jobs in the midfield is to have a defensive sweeper who's at the back of the contest, and they try to sort of, initiate a defensive role in there to sweep across and try to block their running outside player. So, and also he has the ability to play inside. So, yeah, you also have to be first to the ball and sweep in there to be an inside player. But, yeah, he had the willingness to attack the corridor in transition and took a direct approach by moving the ball by foot. He wasn't afraid. And also his games for South Australia, wasn't afraid to be in the centre corridor and being that option to kick to and using the ball quite well with a bit of run and carry. That's a really good trait for a player. I don't know what Richmond are doing for the supplementary picks, whether they didn't rookie list him in the rookie draft the day after night 1 and 2. And I know a lot of Richmond fans were looking forward to having him, and they rated him quite highly. So, yeah, shout out to you, mate. I'm not too sure whether you're going to stay at Sturt. So not only was he in the SA Championship team, he also was in the under 18 winning side in the grand final in the SANFL for the under 18s. So he got the double. And I'm really highly surprised that he was 180 centimeters, so he's a little bit smaller, but he's still got time to grow. And yeah, so that to me is one that got away. So we'll just quickly bring up my notes and we'll go back to what I have written down. So we'll scroll through. We'll just get to... So Luke Candy, standing at 184 centimetres. Good nail product. looks quite well. Sort of got enough size on him. Plays that sort of defensive role. He's one of South Australia's best starters. Putting together the best outing in the game was against the Allies, where he managed to have a team high of 23 disposals, 4 clearances, 6 intercept possessions. This was in Blacktown when they played the Allies, also followed by a haul of 10 and 12 and 13 touches in the remaining fixtures. A reliable member of the squad. A Glenelg rebounding defender, provided enough bounce off the half-back and took the game on with his speed. He's a great athletic, has a great athletic ability and poses a strong jumping ability as proven in his pre-season testing. So not only did he play most of the games and had a high possession game, being the highest on the ground, the ability to be a rebounding defender, and also standing at 184, is still under that 186 mark, but probably has the ability to get there. And plays on the small forwards as a lockdown role, but as a rebounding defender, he didn't average under 10 disposals. So the ball spent a lot of time in South Australia's forward line due to their dominance and the ability of their good midfield to get it down to their forward line. Now, he's very talented. I did put him, I think I rounded him out as my 30 pick. And there's no reason why he shouldn't be in the top 50 of the country. Played all the games, had a disposal high in one of the games. There's not too much that I could add to that more. But stick to your dream, mate. Glenelg have a great side. There's no reason why they can't sort of, I think they were, up there as one of the sides to be in the SANFL Grand Final. I think they were there as well, but lost. I think they're going back to back. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember who was in the Grand Final for the SANFL teams. I think, I might have got it wrong before. I think it was Sturt versus Glenelg, and Glenelg were going back to back, but they lost to Sturt. It was Nord the year before. There's no reason why you can't develop your craft there. There are some ex-AFL players there that can help you craft your game. So he's one that shout out to, mate. Really, liked how your game was. You used the ball quite well. When he had it, he used it well. He was one of SA's halfbacks that were really good. We'll talk about De Hilts in a minute. He was one of the great halfbacks too, alongside Lindsay from Vic Country. So he got picked up and was quite high. So we'll talk about he's another one that should got picked up and had an opportunity. That's just my take on it. So don't give up on your dream, mate. That gets me to Jet De Hilts. A guy that I rated pretty highly. Arguably one of the best kicks in South Australia's lineup. Which means he was the best kicker in the league, essentially, alongside Lindsay from Vic Country. He was their main distributor of the ball. De Hilts was South Australia's main distributor out of the back line. So I had him quite high. I had him pick 11. I was almost wanting, I thought, with the ability that he has. He's a Sturt under-18s premiership player. He also played in all the games, I believe, for the States. So, where he had this Sturt rebounder had an average of 15 disposals per game, 12.5 which were kick-ins, a clear indication of the mould that he was. So he was the main kick-in player for South Australia, which is a great accolade to have, because generally the best ball user is the kicker from the kick-ins. And so he was going very well. So his campaign was predominantly in defence off the half back, where he was registering 505 metre gains from the 505 metres gained from 19 disposals, 16 kicks against Vic Country. He has come from a long way back with him being the first year in the state program. So, this guy's just shot through the program. He obviously has been developed very well at Sturt, so he bounced into the state program. Is one of the best halfbacks. The main ball distributor for South Australia's undefeated championship side. His under-18 side won the championship for the under-18s in South Australia. So that makes him an absolute star. He had 505 metres gained against Vic Country, 19 disposals, 16 kicks. That's against the best talent in the country. He stood shoulders above the rest and had 505 metres gained. Not one team looked at this kid. Not one. Not one. That to me is just disrespectful. I'll stick up for the lad. And not only that, I would say this about if he was on Vic Country's side. Say if Josh Lindsay didn't get picked up for Vic Country, he'd be in this position, this exact same position, and I'll be saying the exact same words. So I don't want to be seen biased towards South Australia. I am South Australian, and I do love my state and love my football. I'm very proud of our state. But yeah, he deserves to be drafted. You don't get given stuff. He's worked hard for it. He's come out of nowhere. He's made the state program. What are the recruiters doing? Have you not watched this guy in his under-18s? Can someone hire me as a recruiter, please? Shout out, there's a job right there. I'll do it for free. That's how passionate I am with my football. I will do this for free. Watch my podcast, please. And that's not to toot my own horn. I know there's a lot of people out there that would just be as passionate and understanding. And don't give up on your dream, mate. Seriously, do not give up on your dream. Sturt have a great SANFL side. There's so many players that play in Sturt's SANFL side that should get drafted. Shout out to Collingwood for drafting one of them. Shout out to... Yeah, that's why Collingwood... Look at their side. They are a really great side. They don't have the abilities to have high-end draft picks, and they're in the window now. So they've gone for a mature age player from Sturt, who was best on ground in the SNFL. So, yeah, we'll stick with the Hilts for now. Don't give up on your dream. I think it's important that you stay positive, mate, and you did a great job, and you should be proud. He kicked goals from outside 50. He had a great leg. I just don't know why he didn't get drafted. So, just a message to you. I had you really high on my list, mate, and I know you'd be disappointed not getting picked up, but don't let that get you down, and put your head up and keep it high because you did well. So there's Kale Matthews Hampton also. So he's a bottom age player, so they only saw one, so he'll be in next year's draft. That's why he didn't get picked up. He also had basketball commitments. So just going through my list, he'll be in next year's draft. So that's the sole bottom ages. So he'll come through next year and probably will get drafted. So there's some experience there. Balin O'Brien, 187 metre defensive player. He played as a third sort of tall. Didn't really blow up the stat sheet, but wasn't really renowned for that because he was more of a lockdown third tall defender. So yeah, he is a Nord player, another good Nord guy that can go back. He played all 4 games. A bit like Taylor that got picked up from Melbourne, played that exact same role, and he was quite high in the draft. So yeah, this guy played all 4 games. Um, didn't get picked up. Looked good. Looked calm in defense. And yeah, it's just another one that slipped through and didn't get drafted, where other players that played his role were drafted quite highly. So yeah, don't give up on your dream, mate. Stay at Nord and give it a crack. And this is another player that I had higher on my radar. I really feel for him. Blake Udtrum Biner. He's a midfielder standing at 182 centimetres, so it's a bit shorter, but it's still above the 180. He was an experienced member of the South Australian program. He came off an injury and improved with each passing game. His haul of 20 disposals, 5 marks, 4 clearances, and a goal was his best. Posting 6 score involvements, he used the ball at 86% efficiency. So the ability to play as a half forward like a Dylan Moore, but also run in the midfield, had a mixture between, a Dylan Moore / Zach Butters type sort of role. More of an inside body though on him. He looked quite good. He used the ball 86% efficiency, including 100% in a steady game. In one of North Adelaide's in one game, in the state championships, went at 100%. So yeah, by foot, absolutely clean. After all the list I read, I didn't really see many stats where they were at 100% efficiency. That's so important to me. Kicking at that, he also was the North Adelaide under-18 captain and the 2024 McCollum Thomas Tompkins medal winner. So yeah, he has a great sidestep and clearly is a class ball user. So he could be, like they were saying, that he could be a riser up the draft, but wasn't. Don't know. He is, one of the best players. He's got some accolades. He's a captain for his under-18 side. Shows leadership skills. Kicking at 86% efficiency on average in the state championships against the best talent in the country. That alone speaks for itself. That's why I had him so high. I had him within my top 15 to top 10. And didn't go at all in the draft. Look, mate, I'd stay at North Adelaide, a new coach down there, be one of their good players. Look, stick to it, mate. There's no reason why you can't be a gun player and get drafted in the mid-season draft. Him and De Hiltz and Kellaway, Candy, Kelly, like all of them, I feel like should have all got drafted. They're really the chunk of the main ones that I would really push through this podcast today. I cannot speak anymore. Like, they are a key part of South Australian side alongside all the ones that were drafted. There's no doubt about that they all had talent. But these guys should have been drafted, whether it's from rookie draft or in between the 30 to 50 mark, or even higher, like I said, some of them. There's no reason why. Blake Udshun Burner, I know he had a funny name. They could call him B.O.B. for short. It's 86% efficiency in the state championships, including 100% in a steady game. So he went at 100%. He was the under-18s North Adelaide captain. He's got the ability to be an outside running player, but the inside sort of player. A Zach Merritt sort of mixture between him, Zach Butters, and Dylan Moore up forward. So yeah, he had a good sidestep. He'd put his head over the ball and just looked good. So yeah, there's no reason why he shouldn't get drafted. I don't. There's no excuse. No AFL club can say to me and have be honest and say to me that there's no reason why he shouldn't get drafted. He also, probably would have. He was at the combine. I don't have his combine stats, but yeah, he did well. I didn't hear anything negatively. There's nothing on the list. He was invited to the combine. I just him and DeHiltz and the others that I mentioned. That there's no other reason why they should have been drafted. Shouldn't have been drafted. So don't give up on your dream, mate. Keep hammering at home. I've just gone through my list now. There's Elliot Duffield, so 193 centimeter defender, so third tall. So yeah, a defender. So which a defense which only conceded 45 points. So here's one of the main defensive parts of the trio. So he only had single digit games, besides one game where he had 13 disposals, 5 marks, and 5 intercept possessions against Western Australia. He was the solid sort of South Australian backman, playing a second or third tall role. He had composure in the defensive 50, also distributing the ball from the defensive 50 half. He took full advantage of his opportunity to play all 4 games in the wake of Tom McKay's injury. So this guy was given an opportunity. He did it very well. He used the ball quite well. He's 193 centimeters. He's not small. He's standing at that about the same size as Harry Dean, who went very high, top 3 pick. This guy played all 4 games, didn't even get a sniff. They didn't even draft. Like, no one gave this guy a chance either. Just add another one to the list. I will talk about that, and I will be passionate about it. South Adelaide player, club that my great grandpa come from. My great grandpa's a Hall of Famer there, same as my great uncle. A premiership player at South Adelaide, both of them in my family. It's a proud club who's struggled with the history that they've had. They've only had a premiership in the 1930s and the 60s, which my great grandpa and my great uncle were a part of. So if you can help South Adelaide, mate, make them become a powerhouse and just play dominant football there, there's no reason why you can't get drafted as an older player. 193 centimeters, he could keep growing. He could be the 196, but just say if he gets the 194, there's no reason why he can't be a second to third tall defender. So yeah, go back to South Adelaide, mate, and just dominate. Just you can do it, mate. You were given an opportunity through an injury, and you dominated. So just go back and have the opportunity to play SANFL and dominate make a name for yourself. Help South Adelaide rise up that ladder, make them play finals, and get this team around you, and win a SANFL grand final for South Adelaide. That will get you drafted. There's no doubt about that. As I said, there's been not a long time between drinks for South Adelaide with a premiership. If you can do that and grow that team, mate, and be that guy that gets them to rise up the ladder, even the people and scouts should look at you. There's no reason why they can't. As I said, the same sort of player that went in the draft for Vic Country, Harry Dean, went very high, and so should he. He was in one of the best defensive teams, along with South Australia were the best team. Vic Country was second. So yeah, there's no reason why Harry Dean should have been higher as well, and there's also no reason why this man should have been drafted. So yeah, so I'll just finish off my list here. So Noah Dow, Dawes, featured also as a tall defender. He played 2 games in the first lot of games and had 13 disposals, 11 intercepting possessions against Vic Metro with outstanding after 11 touches and 5 marks against the Allies. He eventually made way for the likes of Matthew Hampton and Blake Threadgoal. So, yeah, just a guy that was just unlucky. Just there was other guys that come back either from injury that were just in front of him. But when given opportunity, he played well. So to me, he's a Nord product. Go back to Nord, dominate at SANFL level, get yourself in the senior side. You will be noticed. And yeah, keep your head high, mate. That's what I say about that one. Bryce Sanders, so standing at 196 centimetres, another key defender who falls in the underrated category in South Australia's undefeated side. North Adelaide player. He was South Australia's best big key defender. Standing at 196 centimetres, he shut down some of the best forwards in the country. He had an important role. He played on a lot of the key position players. This is also one of his best games were against Western Australia, where he quelled Cody Curtin, Danny Curtin's brother at Western Australia, in the early stages, while posting also 11 disposals, 3 marks and 7 intercepting possessions. So yeah, I did rate Cody Curtin quite highly, actually. Well developed for his size. Unfortunately, Western Australia didn't have the midfield prowess that South Australia and Vic Country had. They did, do quite well in some games. So it's not to say that they didn't do well, but over the 4 games, they just unfortunately weren't the best side like South Australia. So this guy was the best defender, tall defender for South Australia. You could make the argument that he was the best tall defender in the under-18s state championships. He's only going to get bigger. He looks good. He had the ability to read the ball and have 11 intercepting possessions. And yeah, 3 marks, so he probably could add more marking to his game. But yeah, there's no reason why this guy shouldn't have been drafted, with some teams needing key defenders. And I know, there's a few tall players that went in the rookie draft. So Oliver Greaves and Riley Onley. So they're both above that 194 to 196 range. Where Bryce Sanders, I'm talking about here currently for South Australia, didn't get drafted. He is a key defender, where the others are more of a midfield prowess type player. Probably could turn into key position players if they want. But this guy was a sole key defender, had the ability to spoil the ball, and also didn't have as much opportunity. With the average winning margin of above 40 points, the South Australian side really had the ball in their midfield to forward half for majority of the game. And when this guy, you need to have a good defense to be a great winning team. Most Premiership AFL teams always have a great defense. Whether you look at Brisbane with Harris Andrews and their defensive lineup, it's one of the best defense lineups. With the halfback like Wilmot, Darcy Wilmot, and a few of the other defensive players. Dane Zorko running across the halfback. There's no reason why, Darcy Gardner, so underrated. These guys are so underrated, and they should be given so much more respect. I know defenders don't get enough respect in the AFL, whether it's through Brownlow votes or anything, but to me, this guy should be drafted and should get picked up. He's one of the best key defenders. I didn't even have him in my top 30s because they were rating the defenders so low in this draft, so I wanted to keep it realistic. And I did it as the best players that should go in the draft at that number, not necessarily doing the research for what the clubs needed. I could have did a separate one, but I didn't want to do that because I'm doing the draft chats and I'm going to talk what clubs needed during that, and I can assess that and put it in. But these were the rated players, how I wanted to do my top 10 to 30. But this guy should have probably been in there and could have been in there. But due to defenders going lower in the draft, I think Taylor and Dean were the only ones that were very highly up there in the top sort of echelon or top 15. So we'll move on to Sam Ainsworth, so the ruckman at South Australia's lineup, also Nord ruckman. He did get beaten in the tap work a bit, but to be fair, he didn't get dominated. He still kept his ground. So he had been one of Nord's best players, converted from a key defender into a ruckman, which also represented on the stage. He also transitioned from that position into that. So yeah, he averaged 15 disposals, 15 hitouts, 4.5 clearances, and a game closing out series with a 20 disposal game and 12 hitouts, and that was, and also is it also 8, says 8 here. I wasn't too sure if it's 8 clearances or not. But yeah, growing with confidence, isn't afraid to possess the ball in hand, and showing terrific calmness through the traffic, and also improvement for work ethic. He's a top age campaigner, so yeah, he's at that age now where he's under 18's year at Nord. So he went from a key defender to a ruckman. So like, how did this guy not get drafted? He had the ability to play both key roles. He looked really good around the ground. He was an extra midfielder, averaging nearly 5 clearances a game. I know Cooper Duff-Tyler went real high on the draft and was touted to be a great player. This guy got around the ground really well. He was the ruckman in the best team. I know the Adelaide Crows went with a Vic Metro ruckman / forward, Ludwicki, or whatever his name was. He had a funny sort of name. I probably butchered that. Sorry, mate. I seen he was very emotional when he got drafted. You're definitely one that deserved to get drafted, mate. But I also feel for this guy. Everyone pumped up the tyres of a lot of the Vic Metro and Country's big guys. There's no reason why this guy shouldn't have had his tyres pumped up. And he did so well. He's a tool who just, covered the ground really well. He marked the ball well on defence. He was an extra midfielder with touches and being able to develop his game. He had 15 disposals on average. So that was probably one of the highest in the under-18s championship, state championship, sorry. And yeah, my message to you, mate, is to go back to Nord, dominate, be a ruckman, show why you ruckmans can take time to develop. So there'll be clubs that still will throw a lifeline at a young guy who has still developed his ruck craft to be a great ruckman. If not, go to defense where you originally were. But this guy could play 2 different roles. That alone should have had him in the draft. That alone could have pushed him in the 30 or the 40 range, since a lot of the smalls and midfielders were getting picked up, or that mid-range defender in some cases. But yeah, some of the small forwards went too, so they went quite high. They were within the 30 mark. Don't give up. Do not give up. That's the main thing I could say to you, mate, is not to give up and just keep at it. So, we'll talk about some of the Vic Country players too. So there was, just going to read about it, just get my list up as we speak. Noah Hibbins Hargraves, he also missed out. I'm just getting his player profile right here. So yeah, forward midfielder, 186 centimeters, a sharp shooter, a developing utility who has a bit of X factor in the big moments. I did notice he caught the ball quite well, kicked a few important goals. Few can lay claim to be as clutch as him. The Dandenong Stingrays prospect possesses obvious class and has the ability to showcase throughout the year, and had several injury setbacks. Maybe a reason why people didn't look at him. But I think clubs have sort of moved away from that now. I know Harley Barker had an injury, but thank you to Geelong for drafting him. You will not regret it. So they needed some outside run, which I said in my trade chats. They've gone and done that. I know he'll miss a large chunk of the season, but yeah, they have enough ability, hopefully, to bring in players from their lower levels to maybe address that running ability. If not, they're going to struggle too. A guy like this gets developed and runs. I know they got Max Holmes' brother. So yeah, he debuted in the Coates Talent League as a 15-year-old in 2023, and fresh off representing Fit Country at the Under-16s Championships. He was also a bottom ager in the 2024, where he made 16 appearances for Dandenong. That was year established himself as a man in the big moments, with 11 of his 23 goals coming from the fourth quarters, including the game winning against Bendigo. He also broke into the Under-18s National Championships, travelling over to Western Australia, and gone on to be selected in the Under-17 Futures. So I don't know if he's underage or not. So yeah, he may be next year's draft years. But yeah, he also had a stellar bottom age campaign where he followed through the induction academy for 2025. He was also named co-captain of. Okay, so he may not be eligible to be drafted this year. I'm not too sure how that sort of works. So yeah, that may have got that one wrong. But yeah, doesn't quite say. So I'm not too sure. I know he was in Vic Country last year and Vic Country this year. So yeah, he may. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure he's old enough to get drafted. Just from some of the stuff that I was reading. I'll just go back to his age, actually. That would be the most. So 2007. So yeah, he's in the draft year. So yeah, a bit surprised. I know a few injury setbacks. He credits his playing his. Just reading, upon returning to Dandenong's setup, he got to show the ever-evolving midfield craft that he has, and was selected in the Coates Talent League Team of the Year. He was also called up to the National Draft Combine but missed through illness. And also he missed... missed the Combine through illness. He was a Western Bulldogs supporter and credits his playing junior football days and colours at Mornington. Will Day is a player he looks up to for his versatility and remains close to his former teammate Harvey Langford, who took him under his wing. So yeah, just another guy that just didn't get picked up. Had an impact. Missed the Combine through illness. Sort of sad. I think Oliver Greaves missed the Combine through illness as well. Lost 6 kilos. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if he tested there or not, or was crook. But yeah, like I said, sometimes the Combine only gives you numbers and stats. Anyone can be a great athlete. Do they have the talent and the IQ? Obviously, they are a good stat to look at, the Combine, but it isn't everything and anything at the same time. It's obviously important to have traits of those athletic abilities, 10 meters, 20 meters, the jump, the vertical jump. Those things, yeah, are important, but they're not, to me, they don't indicate the ability and also the IQ on the football ground. So, yeah. Also, Thomas McGuan, father son, who didn't get picked up by Collingwood, 178 centimetres for Vic Metro. Yeah, he has the ability to simply find the footy, a hard running utility. So yeah, he's father of Mick McGuan, premiership player, won a couple best and fairest at the Magpies. But yeah, they access one of their NGA products instead. Yeah, so yeah, they had priority access to him. And yeah, his size isn't the best and his speed's quite slow. Accumulation, consistency, football IQ, and running capacity. So what he doesn't make up for speed, he uses his football sense, which is just as important. You can be the fastest guy in the world. You can be Usain Bolt, but are you going to be in the right spot for the football? Yeah, McGon's Jr. has turned into a sensational Coates League talent with the Western Jets, where he debuted alongside Thomas Burton in 2023. Tops of the charts of the bottom major last year, but yet boasted a 27 disposal game in 2025. Such high levels, his credit his ability to run both ways and his smart patterns. He is clean at the contest and just as influential on the outside, so the ability to play inside and outside. So yeah, a well-rounded game. Likely to have to work on his power and strength and speed to thrive at the levels above. So yeah, did play for Vic Metro this year. Vic Metro finished a bit lower down the ladder. And yeah, don't give up on your game, mate. I'm pretty sure Collingwood will continue looking at you. We'll just talk about a couple of the WA players to round out this game. I did see, where was it? It was... just get my notes up right now as we speak. It's just about to load up. Here it is coming. Van Ruren's brother from Melbourne. Just getting it to pop up. Where is it? Benji Van Roon. 202 centimeter ruck already. So he's 202 centimeters as a bottom major. So so he's still got a year to go, but he's going to be a monster. So I didn't know that. I was just reading through there. I just noticed that he's had multiple hit out games. Quite good. So yeah, so he will be getting drafted. One of their fullbacks, Mitchell Sterling, took 7 marks in the first 3 games. Has earned a spot in the stateside. He's also a bottom age player. I'm just going through WA's list just quickly as we read through here. I know WA didn't do quite as good in the draft, so in the championships, they sort of won one game that was quite good and only had a handful of players like Jacob Farrow being drafted and Fred Rodriguez in the rookie draft and Tyler Williams as the NGA product for West Coast. But yeah, 204 centimetre ruck Sebastian Rowe, another ruckman, the tallest of any WA state player. Rowe has been limited in just one Colts game this season. He missed all of his bottom age campaign with a stress fracture, but he did play under 18s versus the under 21s time trial, so I think he's another under 18s. So Western Australia have a couple of really solid players playing upper grade. Will York, small forward for Pil Funder, played 5 rounds in the Colts, 28 disposal games, 6 marks. Luke Corello, midfielder, former under 16 state academy member. Most impressive was his vertical leap for his size. Unfortunately, suffered a recent injury and didn't participate in the championships. He did play and begin the season where he won 48 disposals. In the second match, he took 8 marks. So there you go. One guy that, a lot of talent. There's not many from WA that I really had on my radar. I just wanted to do them. Dale Sutherland, a defender, another under 18 state academy member, rebounding halfback. 20 disposals, took 6 marks in a game. So may have also played lockdown roles when he was asked to do so in the championship. So a lockdown defender who can be a rebounder. So that's going to probably wrap it up. So, stay to your dreams. Don't give up. And I just want to appreciate everyone. And that's we're going to wrap that up. So we'll get into the draft chats next. And just wanted to cover the players today and just tell them not to give up on their dream of AFL. And, I covered most of them quite well. Obviously, South Australia being highly rated because they were the number 1 team, undefeated, following along with Vic Country, Vic Metro, and WA. So thank you, everyone. Cheers.